Hi guys, this is Mihai from DNN Sharp, and today I'm going to show you one of the greatest things you can do with DNN Sharp products. It's easy, and this video tutorial is gonna be one of the shortest ones. I'm going to show you how API caching works in the latest version of API Endpoint. We've added this feature for those of you that have long-running queries on the database and you want to offer fast responses to the ones that query your API in a limited time frame that's acceptable as a caching period. Let me demonstrate this to you. Let's create a new endpoint. I'm gonna call it test caching, and it's gonna take a number as an input parameter, and based on this number my API will multiply it with 2. So I'm gonna run an SQL query which will basically do a select number times 2, but in order to make it last longer, if I can call it that way, I'm going to add a delay. Wait for delay. As you can remember from the last tutorials, this is how I make my queries stay for a longer time in the database. And I'm gonna keep this one for 10 seconds. So my query will basically wait 10 seconds in the database and then multiply the number by 2 and return the result in the result token. Now this token will be offered as a response from the API. So here we're gonna write result. Let's see how this API works. So I'm gonna provide 2. I'm gonna press execute. It's gonna wait for 10 seconds, and after that it should return 4 as a result. And there it is. If I run it a second time with the same value, it's gonna wait again 10 seconds and return the value, of course, 4 again. Now, the great thing with the caching feature is that once you enable it, you can set a period in which the API won't go to the database again to calculate the result, and it will take it directly from cache. You're the one to decide what caching period is acceptable for you, and I'm pretty sure this will help you speed up your APIs. I'm going to set a cache time of 15 seconds. And I won't change anything else. I'm just gonna save this API and go test it. So I'm gonna call the API for the value 2. I'm gonna execute it. It's going to the database. It's gonna wait those 10 seconds. It's gonna do the math and return the value. If I call the API again in those 15 seconds time frame, the result will be instant because it's gonna take it from the caching. If I call the same API with a different value, it's gonna stay in the database again because it doesn't have the result in the cache for this new value. So the cache is calculated for each individual value. But if I call it again with this second value, it's gonna bring it from the cache as well. Keep in mind that if the value is cached, none of the actions from the API will be executed. So you need to be careful on which APIs you enable caching. I hope you like this new feature and you'll be using it in your future implementations. Don't forget that all the nice tutorials can be found on our blog page, blog.dnnsharp.com/1001. And in order to get notified every time we upload a new video tutorial, subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on this big red button here. See you soon for another great tutorial. Bye!